Everyone, and welcome back. Back to the new lock lab, and I've got a special lock for us today. We're looking at this one here. It's Bill Bacardi number 65, and I have picked it once, so we're going to lock it back up. And well, this one's kind of special because he normally doesn't name his locks. He calls this one Springtime, Don't Turn 180, and Experimental. You know, when I see that many warnings on a lock, I'm going to take it seriously generally. So there we go. And there's the bag it came with, and he left a little note that says, warning, use safety glasses when gutting. So I have a feeling this thing might have some pretty serious springs in it. So let's go ahead and get the vise out. And put the lock in it. Okay, this one does have a Yale style keyway, so I will be limited a little bit on what type of picks I can use. You see the key does work, and it works very smooth, just like I expect from Bill Bacardi anymore. He just knows how to do his stuff. I mean, he is a locksmith after all. Let's see here. I'm going to get my 25 thousandths tension wrench, and that'll fit nicely in the top of the keyway. And I'll go ahead and get a couple of picks out for use. There it is. Okay. So I want to start out with a pick that Bobby Keys made for me. Got a pretty deep hook to it, and it generally lets me start in these Yale keyways pretty close to the bottom and kind of punch up through the holes. Okay, so I didn't feel anything on the first pass. I'm going to increase my tension, see if I can force something to bind, and didn't get anything. So I'm going to go off the ledge with a short hook. Okay, there's a click off of 3 or 4. Okay, let's work our way back forward. That was definitely 3. That was 2. Gave me a little turn on the core. Little counter-rotational 1. There we go. Okay, now I've got a deep false set off of pin 2. A little bit of difficulty getting underneath the pin 3 here. So I'm releasing some of my tension. There we go. Sliding the pick around. There we go. Got a nice click. Okay, everything's springy, so I think something overset. So I'm going to release tension a little bit. Drop a pin and see what happens. Okay, that was pin 4 and pin 5. Okay, just nudging up on pin 1 put me into a false set. Okay, got a proper click out of 2 there. Okay, I came back and nudged up on 1, put me back in that false set. Okay, got a little bit of false set off of pin 4. And we're open off of 5. Very nice lock. Good feedback. And I believe there's probably some sort of overset trap happening in there, because I did overset. Definitely felt like I overset a pin when everything went springy on me. So let's see what Mr. Bill Bacardi put in here for us. Let me get my pinning tray out. And give me a second. Let me blow it off real quick. I've been doing some woodworking in the shop today, and I've got a fine layer of sand or sawdust on everything. Some sanding dust. Okay. Okay, get that vise out of the way. Okay, I need my little Phillips screwdriver. And hopefully by now, everybody, the echo is getting better. It's still not great because I hear it a little bit myself. If it doesn't get any better, I'll start putting some foam up on the walls. Okay, let's go ahead and stick this shim in here. And I'm not actually wearing safety glasses while gutting this, Bill, so I'm not taking your advice. But I do wear glasses, so there we go. Okay, so we do see all the pins in and working. And I do see some core modifications here. I see countermilling. So let's go ahead and take these pins out. Ooh. I see how I overset something now, but I'll show you guys here in just a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this plug. And I see countermilling in every chamber. So very nice work. And looks like a couple of the chambers are deeper than others. 1 and 2 look very deep. 5 looks very deep. And 3 and 4 don't look all that deep as far as the countermilling goes. But those are some nice plug modifications. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these pins out of the top. Once I do that, we'll go ahead and zoom in and show you everything. Oh, wow, okay, that's experimental. I've not seen anything like that in one of Bill's locks yet. I'm going to have to be really careful taking these pins out. So pardon the silence here a little bit. Taking out a bunch of pin and pins makes me get quiet pretty quick. Oh, I like that pin. You guys want to like that one too. That's a good one. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this around and get this one out from the back. I have not yet come up with a good method that works for me to make a pin like it's in pin chamber 4 on this lock. And Bill's got it figured out because that one looks like it works pretty good. Alright, I don't see any modifications to the Bible. So let's go ahead and take a look at these pins because Bill did a fantastic job on these. Okay. So starting with number 1, and there's a reason why I overset. They're tapered pins in chamber 1, chamber 2, chamber 3, chamber 4, and chamber 5. He hand tapered all of these to kind of act like lockwood pins. But the real magic in this lock is upstairs, guys. Really, really good work on these pins. And I want to show you these, the pin and pin part of these drivers here. See those, how those serrations there? Those aren't serrations. Those are springs. See, at first it looks like threading, but those are actually really tiny springs that force these pins apart to a certain degree. So one extra little bit of work done to it, and that's a lot of work to get these springs in there like that. And then pin 2 is just like it. You see the spring here. Yeah, real stiff little springs too. And the outer collars on these are all serrated as well, so it's a lot of work went into this lock. Oop, I just shot this one apart trying to put it back together. And chamber 3 has a really long spring. And it just goes together like this. The spring doesn't go all the way through, but it does allow the tip to push through. Okay, chamber 4. Chamber 4 is a really neat pin, and I like this pin. Any pin that you have a centerpiece that slides like this, I think they're really good security pins. They give you a different feel than any other type of spool or serration. And I've not seen one with a ring quite this fat before, but he did a very nice job with it. It looks like, you can see on the end how he constructed it. It looks like the end is probably epoxied or UV set. It's kind of hard to tell. And then we got another one of those really cool spring-loaded pin and pins here in chamber 5. Really neat pins. Wow. And counter milling and all these crazy pins, that really came into play. It gave me the right feedback. It didn't have a feel of any lock of his that I've ever picked. Of course, it's experimental, so it's something new for him. And I've really never picked anybody's lock who had pin and pins that quite felt like these. So, Bill, I'd say your experiment was a success. I know from experience that what you did there took a lot of work. So, thank you very much for sending me this lock, sir. And everybody else, please stay safe. Don't do anything illegal. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe.